Hey people, welcome to sunny Edinburgh. And I've been playing around with some sort of placeholders for comments and some backgrounds to drop them into. And I thought I'd take you through a little bit of that and a little bit of how I build up my scenes as well. So this one here, the background that you're looking at, I think I got it from Envato Elements, but it didn't look anything quite like that when I got it. So what I did was take the image and drop it into Photoshop and then used AI to move it around a bit so that I got the bigger center going on there, where I've got my sort of glazed effect looking box, which I'm going to drop my comments into. So I just used AI to sort of stretch and fill, and you can use generative elements of the AI to change different elements of the screen. So that's what I've done with my backdrop, and typically that's what I do if I am using this sort of photo-like backdrop. So if you've never played about with it before, go and have a look at Photoshop and generative AI. Drop some stuff in and see what it looks like, and if you don't like it, just give it a command and you can change the look and feel. So other things that I've gone on or got going on here is obviously I'm on green screen, plus my four brothers on green screen to one side. Note that they're in black and white. So the idea here was they'd be in black and white. I would effectively be where I'm sitting in color, a Zoom active speaker. And when the Zoom active speaker pops up, then the Zoom active speaker's in color, and that way the focus is on the color individual, and they may sort of take the questions that are coming in, and then I may swap to somebody else to take another question coming in. So that's the sort of basic principle of things there. I'm on green screen transparent in all of these images, so if you look very, very carefully at the bottom image of the four brothers there, you'll see that it's slightly different colours of grey. The other ones have got kind of black in the background, and that's just because it's picking up on the image behind it. So that's why it's looking like that. So other things that I tend to do when I'm building up a scene, these days I've decided that I like to have a frame around the scene. I think that it just focuses the eye. So literally I have gone into Keynote and created a frame with no center element to the frame, 1920 by 1080, and I just drop that in, and I can change the corner edges within Keynote, or indeed any other drawing package that is your preferred option. So that's just a white frame with no center in it. So that's what I tend to do, is drop a frame in. This particular one, I decided I want to add a little bit of movement as well. So I added in just a fragmented glow movement, and that's just a looped movie that I can't remember where I got that one off, Envato Elements, or it's another package, but it's just a looped glow movie. And I then set the blend mode to something like overlay or screen or something along those lines, to blend in with the background, and then reduce the opacity so it's not too in your face and super bright. So that's what I've done with those elements. And then what I thought I would like to do is just to highlight the center a little bit more, so the area where the box is. So I dropped in another box over the top of the background, and that box I have made white, and then I set the blend mode to overlay and then put a shadow on it as well, and that gives me the kind of 3D glow effect that's going on for that box, which is what I wanted for my comments coming in. So let's bring in some comments. So this is my comments coming in, and as I said before, it may be that I am answering this particular comment, somebody else comes in with a different comment, and I say, hey Neil, hey Leon, hey somebody else, why don't you pop onto the active speaker and take that particular question. Now I could of course set those out as individual scenes, and it may be better to do that because the active speaker is super sensitive at the moment, and anybody coughing or sneezing, if they're not muted, will jump into the scene. So just watch out for that one. Hopefully there's a couple of changes coming that will allow us to control that a wee bit better. But I thought then I'll have a little bit more of a play about, so I'm just going to change scenes here to a slightly different version, same sort of thing, but a slightly different version. And what I thought I would do here is just bring it in my little movie over the box itself. So rather than have it cover the whole screen, I thought it might look alright if it's just covering the comments box, because we see a lot of comments coming in and the boxes tend to be static, and I thought it might be a nice idea if it moved a little bit. So all I've done is shrunk the movie down to the size of the box, and it does clip quite easily to the size of a box. So you shrink it down, and if it's not quite sized correctly, you can just use the option key and then drag up till the box is the same size as the one behind it. And I then just make sure the corner radiuses and things like that are all the same. So that's sort of one version I had of this. There's a couple of things I didn't like too much about this one. I've still got the transparent background on all the green screen guys. Yeah, over there. And I didn't really like that too much. So on the next scene, I'm going to change that. And I'm going to try also a different video in the background for the box. So next scene. So I just thought I'll try a different video, and also what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a bit of a coloured background. So I've grabbed a coloured background effectively to match the rest of the scene. So the way I've actually done that is I'm still in the green screen transparent mode, but I've added in a shadow, and then the shadow, I have colour picked the shadow to match my background on the rest of the scene, and then faded it slightly so that I'm still sitting in blue, and I think that looks much better than the other background. And then I've got a different video dropped over the box, and you can use the replace asset function and it should drop it straight in the same size. Doesn't always seem to work, occasionally you have to tweak it about a bit, but generally it kind of works pretty well. This one I felt looked quite good, but maybe, you know, a little bit too busy. The blend mode I have used is, what is the blend mode? It's the very last one on the list of blend modes, and I forget the name, but it's the very last one on the list, and it tends to make things a bit more sort of black and white rather than super colourful. And I kind of want this to be in there but subtle rather than in your face. So let's flick down to the next scene, because I'm just trying a few different videos in the background to see what they look like. And I quite like this one as well, actually, but it might be that that's getting a bit too, you know, blinky, for want of a better description. So that's another version, but the one that I finally settled on was that I think I quite like this one here, and I ought to have a look and see what that effect is called, the blend mode. Luminosity, I can remember. Luminosity is the background effect that I've got there. So here, what I wanted to do was just bring it in so that I could have my comment disappear. Let's hit the right button, and I'd have something like this and say, right, okay, I see I've got a comment here from Billy, and Billy's comment then comes in when I click the right button, and the placeholder drops in nicely, and I've got a bit of movement on in the background, but not so much that it's distracting from or making the comment itself difficult to read. So I thought I'd just drop that in there, because I know there are people who do shows like Anna and Fortunes with tons and tons of comments, and I thought that might just be an interesting option to do something a little bit different with the placeholders, or at least the background for the placeholders. So that's me for tonight. No, well, I'm probably going to do another quick video as well, but that's a quick 9-minute video, and for now, cheerio from Edinburgh. See you later. Bye.